All right, guys, we're starting up. We're playing the Cleveland Indians, the 2024 Cleveland Indians versus the 2024 New York Yankees. I'm replaying the Yankee season, see how far I get. We are at Progressive Field. It's a little bit friendlier to left-handed batters. And the 2025 season is right around the corner. Once you finish up, he usually releases it the day after the World Series is over. So that's going to be exciting. I will pick that up and play some 2025 games. I'm looking forward to doing that. And let's play ball here. It's going to be Carlos Carrasco, Cookie, on the mound for the Cleveland Indians. Did not have a good season at all. He was 3-10. He's 37 years old. Against Clark Schmidt, the 28-year-old, 5-5 with a 2.85-year-old. I'm sorry, 2.85 ERA, 16 games, 85 innings pitched. And a 1.1 whip. Carrasco's whip was 1.4. So it's going to be Anthony Volpe leading off. I'm using Digital Diamond Baseball to keep track of what's going on. And here's the pitch, and it's a 92, and that's a 1 that's popped up left side. Jose Ramirez, he's got it for the first out. So Volpe pops up around the infield from third to first. It's going to be Ramirez, Rocchio, Jimenez, and Naylor at first. Then behind the plate is Naylor, right? You got a couple of brothers, I believe they are, and then Carrasco on the mound. From left to right is Quan Freeman and Brennan. So here's Juan Soto. Juan Soto so far is, how's he doing? Juan Soto is 13 hits and 46 at bats, batting 283 with 6 home runs and 4 doubles. Here's the pitch. And that is a 71, which will be a swing and a miss, and he chases a ball and strikes out here for the second out. Aaron Judge now. And a 0-4. That's going to be a deep drive. He's got the 0, so he's got the ballpark, and that ball is a deep drive way back. That ball is out of here. So he unloaded on a hanging slider by Cookie Carrasco, and he basically dropped that into the seats in left center field. So that is a home run. The Yankees are up 1-0 thanks to Aaron Judge, and that is Aaron Judge's what? Where was he? I missed it. Let's see. Let me go quickly to the box score. So Aaron Judge, that will be his 5th home run of the season. The Yankees' record so far is 7-6, so he's got 5 home runs in 13 games. So next one with 2 outs, his next batter is Anthony Rizzo. And that's a 94 with a 6, and that'll be a fly ball right field. And under it is Brennan, and that retires his side. That's 9. So the home team coming up to bat, and the Yankees lead at 1-0. It's going to be Stephen Kwan. And that's a 33, which will be a 3. It's a bouncer to the first baseman. Rizzo picks it up, steps on the bag, 1 away. Clark Schmidt pitching for the Yankees. So one thing about 2024 baseball, watch my video on the differences between modern baseball and 70s baseball. Just kind of in your head, be ready for that, right? A lot of pitching changes and a lot of players moving around. You have them one day on your team and they're gone the next, and they could be a pretty good player. You're like, what? So this is a 98. That's off the pitcher, and that's popped up. Second base, Gleyber Torres. He was still with the Yankees, and he hauls it in for out number 2. So Jimenez pops up. I don't know what happened there. All right, next up is Jose Ramirez. 118 RBIs, 39 home runs, batted 279, 41 stolen bases in 2024. He's a 3 at third base, which is a pretty decent third baseman. Not great, but good, can hold his own, 95. And a 6 is a hard hit ball at the shortstop, Volpe. And Volpe releases and in time, G6, and 3 up, 3 down for Clark Schmidt. Clark Schmidt was 5-5 with a 2.85 ERA in 16 games and 85 innings pitched in 2024. So he had a good season. Here's Gleyber Torres now, batting. And the pitch, and that is a 57. That is ripped. Oh no, that's a deep drive. with a 1. He's got the ballpark. What's going to happen here? That's a 68. That's going to be one hop off the wall in the gap. And Kwan makes the play, and into second base standing is Torres with a double. Leadoff double for Gleyber Torres. Next up is Verdugo. I don't think Giancarlo Stanton is playing today. Here's the pitch. And that's a 31. And that's going to be a 4, which is a hard hit ball to the shortstop, who looks Torres back to second base. So it's 2H runner. Oh no, R2H. Runner on second holds. And next is Birdie with 1 out. Cabrera. Let's find, so it's not Birdie. It is Cabrera. Let's get Oswaldo Cabrera in here. So I don't think I pulled the cards for the Yankees lineup. I think it's still there from the last game. 75, he swings and misses, chases a high fastball. So Carrasco, Cookie, brings the heat at 92 miles an hour. That's heat for him. And Cabrera was chase that one. And Trevino's up next. Jose Trevino with 2 outs and the pitch. And that's a 26 with a 2. And that's a hard hit ball right up the middle. Carrasco snags it over to first and in time to retire the side. So they leave a man stranded at second base. And we go to Josh Naylor, leading off for the Cleveland Indians here in the bottom of the second. Clark Schmidt gets the sign, winds and deals. And that's a 21, and 21 will be a defensive results. And that's a 14, and a 14 will go to the first baseman. Rizzo, who's a 3, he'll make that play. G3. So we'll double check Rizzo's card. Rizzo's still a pretty good third baseman, even though his hitting, he's actually a 4. So Naylor bounces out to Rizzo, and up comes Tyler Freeman. Tyler Freeman was a 209 hitter with 7 home runs, almost 400 at bats. That's 28, and that'll be a fly ball. Center field, Grisham. We go over the Yankees lineup. Outfield, left to right is Verdugo, Grisham, and Soto. And the infield from third base to first is Cabrera, Volpe, Torres, and Rizzo. Behind the plate is Trevino. So that's 2 outs here. So far, Clark Schmidt's retired 5 in a row. Pitch 62, and that's ball 4. First base runner for Clark. Clark Schmidt. Here's Bo Naylor. Oh, Brennan's up. I guess Bo Naylor. Where's Bo Naylor? Oh, wait a second. Brennan. What happened to Brennan? Did I use him already? Yeah, I did. Okay. So that's a 6. So who was before Brennan? Hold on a second. It was Brennan, then Naylor. All right, so I got Brennan here. It's a 68, and that will be a strikeout to end the inning. I don't know what I did. I had Freeman, I had Naylor. Oh, okay, probably the 2 Naylors threw me off in my brain. Having 2 Naylors. Okay, so it's going to be Grisham batting 9th on the Yankee lineup for today. We're in the middle of April. Remember the new set? The new set's coming out in a couple weeks. Looking forward to that. If you go to the Deep Drive Baseball Facebook group, and you'll see some cards there, the new cards that are coming up. Grisham. And that's a 68, and that'll be a hit by pitch, so he gets plunked. Hit by pitch. Hold on 1 second here. They're going bananas. Oh, God. All right. So Grisham is on. Leadoff batter gets plunked by Carrasco, and it's Volpe. There's no hit and run. There's no bunting in modern baseball. 74, and that is a strikeout. So curveball gets Volpe. Who's not a very good hitter. Batted 240. This year, I think he batted like 200. They sat him towards the end of the season. Here's a very dangerous hitter, Juan Soto, who took off from the Yankees in 2024 at the end and signed with the Mets. Had another fantastic year, terrific year with the Mets in 2025. Here's the pitch from Carrasco. It's a 74, and that'll be a check swing, and they ring him up. So Is that back-to-back strikeouts, I believe, for Carrasco. And here's Aaron Judge, who's already got a solo shot. And that's going to be an 81. That's off Carrasco, and that's going to be a defensive result with a 24. And a 24 will be, that's the third baseman. Ramirez is a 3, and he'll boot it. So it's an E5. And that puts runners on first and second. And up comes Anthony Rizzo, had a terrible year. Batted .228 with 8 home runs. And it's a 20. And that'll be a defensive result as well. With a 20. And that's going to be to the third baseman. He'll get it this time. Step on the bag. So it's a 5 unassisted. And that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Yanks. And now it's Bo Naylor. Here's the pitch. 6th Bo Naylor is the catcher. It's a 67, and that will be a swing and a miss. Chases a slider down and away. Goes down on strikes. And he was not a good hitter. He had 213 home runs. Most guys hit 200 now. It's just normal. That's another thing that's different from the 70s, right? Check out my video, a little bit of introduction about the differences that I find between the 70s and modern baseball. Esteban Florial. And he's a lefty hitter. He batted 173 in 100 at-bats, 110 plate appearances. Here's a pitch from Clark Schmidt, 87. And that'll be lined and caught by Volpe. And that is the second out. Who's up next? Rocchio. Brian Rocchio, the shortstop. And it's a 54, which is line base hit. So he rips one to center, played on hot by Grisham. Rocchio's on at first. Will he steal? He had 10 stolen bases during the course of the season. So, you know what? We're going to send him. 2 outs. What the heck? And that's a 12, and he's thrown out. Out at second. So on the stolen base attempt. So it's going to be SB, runner on first, out. All right, that ends the inning. We go to the top of the 4th. Gleyber Torres leads off with a 64, and that's ball 4, so he walks. So leadoff batter in this inning is up. Alex Verdugo's next. This is a guy that didn't get re-signed, the 49 with a 7. That's lifted to left center field. Quan over. He's under it, squeezes it for out number 1. Back to first goes Torres. And here's Oswaldo Cabrera with a 94. 94 will be an 8. That's lifted to center. High fly, center field. Backing up a few feet is Freeman. And he's under it and squeezes it for out number 2. And next up is Jose Trevino. Trevino, a 215 hitter with 8 home runs and 230 at-bats. Or plate appearances. 17, and that's a swing and a miss. Struck him out to end the inning. Bottom of the 4th, here we come. Yankees lead at 1-0. Stephen Kwan leads off with a 79, and that'll be a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Andre Jimenez, ex-Met. 4th second baseman, good defensive second baseman. 72 will be a check swing, and they check with the third base umpire, and he rings him up. 2 outs. Jose Ramirez, probably the star, 0-3, and plus he's got the ballpark. That's 69. That's going to be a drive down the line into the right field corner, and it is Soto plays the carom into second base. Ahead of the throw is a Jose Ramirez with a 2-out double. Jose Ramirez strokes one down the line. A bullet past the diving Rizzo into the corner. Played off the carom by Soto. And the throw into second base. The tag by Volpe, but Ramirez is there. And here's Josh Naylor, the pitch. And that's a 94 with a 1. That's popped up. Middle infield. It's Volpe and Torres. And Torres calls him off, makes the catch. We go to top of the 5th. Trent Grisham leads off. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. It's a 97 with an 8, and that's lifted to center. 1 down. Top of the order now for the Yanks. We are in the top of the 5th inning. This game moves along. That's a 50. That's deep drive, and he's got the ballpark. No, he misses the ballpark. So it's a 55, and that's going to be a drive off the wall over Kwan's head into left center field and into second base with a double is Anthony Volpe. Next up, but Carrasco started to tire a little bit here. He's starting to turn orange on the screen. Here's Juan Soto. We don't walk Juan Soto to face Judge. We rather walk Judge. So that's a 43 with a 7. That's a deep drive to right field. Volpe's going to tag on this one. Volpe, I believe, is very fast, and that's like an automatic tag. Yeah, so it's going to be an F9. Runner on second, safe. So he's at third base now. Infield's going to be in here in the top of the 5th. Here's Judge, and Judge with an 87. That's off the pitcher card, and that's a 2, and a 2 is a hard hit ball to third base. Oh, the infield's not in with 2 outs, and that'll end the inning. So 87 and a 2, and that's a ground ball to first. All right, we go to the bottom of the 5th. And it's Freeman. Tyler Freeman, not a great center fielder. 59, and that's a ball 4. Base on balls for Tyler Freeman. Will Brennan is up next. Pitch, and that's a 36. Hold on, here we go again. All right, so Schmidt still has pretty good endurance. I don't have to worry about him. Freeman is at first. Is Freeman a guy to run? 11 stolen bases. I guess we can run. There he goes, and he is safe. He's got 10 minus 1. So that's a 9, and I rolled a 9. So he, unless the catcher Naylor, Bo Naylor is a 0. So he will steal the. That's actually the Yankee catch. I'm sorry, Trevino. He is a 0, so it's a stolen base. So it's STL in this game. So runner is in scoring position here with 1 out. And next up is Bo Naylor. So it was Freeman, Brennan made it out. So now it is Bo Naylor. Okay. And here is the pitch with a 0-9. And that's going to be a base on ball, so he walks. So the pitching coach is going to go out and talk to Schmidt here, first and second. We're at the bottom of the 5th, and next is Esteban Florial. Here's the pitch. And it's 27, which will be a swing and a miss. Gets him with the slider. Moving away from, actually moving in on left-handers, away from right-handers. Let's see. Schmidt against Rocchio with 2 outs and 2 on. Pitch, and that is a 66. Struck him out, and that retires the side. So Schmidt comes back strong after allowing a couple of guys to get on base, and we go to Carrasco. Carrasco's on the mound. He will be facing Rizzo here. We're going to look and see who we're going to bring in. All right, so let's do it. Let's roll. We're in the top of the 6th, 1-0 Yankees. Anthony Rizzo, who's 0 for 2 today, he flied out and grounded out. That's a 52, and that will be a deep drive with a 7. He does not have the ballpark. It's a 69, and that's going to be a drive down the line into the corner, and that's going to be at least a double. Hustling around second base, but pulling up will be Rizzo with a leadoff double. So that's going to be it for Cookie. We're going to, it's a righty coming up, a righty, a lefty, and then a switch hitter. So we're going to go, you know what, we're going to go with a lefty. We're going to say the lefty for Soto. And we're going to go to a righty. So let's grab a righty quickly here. Who are we going to grab? We're going to grab a guy named Eli Morgan. Let's grab Eli Morgan. Pick them out, so it'll take a little bit less time. There he is, and he is ready to roll here. Eli Morgan coming in for Carrasco. In the top of the 6th inning. All right, Gleyber Torres is up. And the pitch, and that's going to be a 68, which will be a defensive result. And it's a 13. A 13 is going to be to the first baseman, and Rizzo will Naylor, right, the Yankees, so it's Naylor, the first baseman. Let's see. And Josh Naylor is a 2. A 2 with a 13. Will he get to this? Yes, he will. Just gets to it, but the runner will move up. G3. Runner moves up. So a productive out by Gleyber Torres, and the infield will be in now. And it's going to be the lefty Verdugo. Here's the pitch, and that is a 74, which will be a 3. Ground ball to third base with 1 out. Ground ball to third base. Let's see what that becomes. I don't have that memorized. Infield in, ground ball. It's a slow and hard ground balls. Runner at third holding unless the bases are loaded. Normal ground out. Runner at third being thrown out at the plate. So he is thrown out. Here's the throw home, and he is out. Rizzo is out. All right, so we're going to do that. It's going to be a G5-2. Okay. And it's going to be to Cabrera. And the pitch, it's an 88, and that's a 1. That's popped up right side. Naylor on the outfield grass, waiting for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Actually, who is that? Doesn't matter. All right. So it is bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Yankees. Exciting play there, getting with Rizzo being thrown out at the plate. Here's Kwan leading off against Clark Schmidt, who's still in there. And it's a 94 with an 8. That's a fly ball. Left field, backing up a couple of steps, is Verdugo. He's under it. 1 away. I think my original, I have a smaller keyboard, which fits on my desk a little bit better. And that, I think, ran out of batteries. So I think it did. I just had to restart my computer. So I got to check that later. That's a big curveball, and Jimenez way out in front. He strikes out for the second out of the inning. So 2 away now for Clark Schmidt here in the bottom of the 6th. The Yankees lead it 1-0. And it's Jose Ramirez, switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty, 31, and that'll be a fly ball deep right field. Backing up to the track is Soto, and Soto hauls it in to retire the side. So Clark Schmidt so far has allowed only 2 hits. Here's Jose Trevino leading off against Eli Morgan. It's a 60, and that'll be a swing and a miss, and he strikes out, goes down on strikes. The heat, Eli Morgan brings the heat and blows it by the Yankee. And here's Trent Grisham, the pitch, and it's a 15, and the 15 will be a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Eli Morgan. And Morgan is already tired, so we're going to go to the bullpen. Let's see. Who are we going to grab? We're going to grab Tim Herring. We're going to hold off on Herring and wait for actually Herring 1, 2, 1. If he this is the top of the order, so we're going to bring in a guy named Tyler Beatty. All right, let's grab him, and he's ready to roll. And here's a pitch to Volpe. With 2 outs and nobody on. And that's an 84, which will be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. All right. Now, it is Josh Naylor against Clark Schmidt, who's also running out of gas. All right, so new pitcher for the Yankees. It's going to be Caleb Ferguson, the left-hander, versus Josh Naylor, the left-hander. Let's do that. Here's a pitch, and that's a 0-4 deep drive with an 8. He won't have the ballpark. A 0-8. That is a deep drive to right, way back, and back goes Soto. Looks up, and that ball is gone. This game is tied, just like that. So Caleb Ferguson gives up a solo shot here, leading off the bottom of the 7th. And it's Freeman, Tyler Freeman, real right-hander. Here's a pitch, and that is a 74, which will be a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. Next is Will Brennan, a 0-4, and that is line base hit single for Brennan. That's 3 batters. And there's another lefty, Bo Naylor. But we're going to let him go one more batter. Here's a pitch, and that is a 64, and that will be a base on balls, and that'll be it for Ferguson. So he is out. And there's a couple of Indians on base with only 1 out and another lefty coming up. We're going to go to the bullpen here. And we are going to grab somebody. Let's see if we have another lefty that we can use. Let's see. Victor Gonzalez. We're going to call on Victor Gonzalez. All right, let's do it. Victor Gonzalez against the lefty Florial. And the pitch, and that is a 37, which will be strike 3 called, and that retires the side. Oh, I didn't make the change. Hold on a second. That's annoying. Let's quickly make that change. Where is Victor Gonzalez, the lefty? There he is. And he strikes out Florial. And that ends the inning, but they tie up the game with the solo shot. And we go to the top of the 8th. It is, oh no, wait a second. There's 2 on and 2 out now. And now it's Rocchio, switch hitter. Pitch, and that's trouble, 0-5. That's going to be a base hit. And Brennan, let's see what Brennan is doing. Brennan, running wise, is average. He'll be, so there's going to be a play at the plate, and he is safe. So the Indians have taken the lead here. And we'll move everybody with 2 outs. Everybody's going to go. Runner on first also gets the extra base. We will give Rocchio the extra base as well. So, all right, so let's do single. Runner on 2 bases. Runner on first also gets a base, and then runner 0 also gets a base. Let's see if that'll work. It's not going to work. Okay, I know I did the first one right. So it's a base hit single, runner on second, 2 bases. Runner on first, 2 bases. And runner 0, 1 base. Let's see if that'll work. Yes. All right. So it's Stephen Kwan with second and third now. And he's a lefty. Victor Gonzalez is a lefty, so it works for us. Here's the pitch. 2 outs. See if we can get out of this inning. A 35, and that'll do it. That'll be something. A 3 is a grounder to the first baseman, Rizzo. He'll handle it, and that retires the side. So the Indians take the lead with a couple of runs. We go to the top of the 8th, and Tyler Beatty. And it's Juan Soto leading off. And it's going to be a 70, which is a base on ball, so he walks. So Soto is on with the tying run, and next up is Aaron Judge. And the pitch, and that is a 30. A 30 is going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes out Judge. Next is Rizzo. Pitch to Rizzo is a 35, and that'll be a 7, which is a shallow fly ball right field. On chasing it and racing in is Brennan, and he slides and comes up with it. What a catch. Hustling back to first base is Soto, and here is Gleyber Torres. Pitch from Beatty, and that is a 77, which will be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that retires the side for the Yankees. We go to the bottom of the 8th. And we're going to go to the Yankee bullpen. Going to grab a righty. Well, we got Jimenez. Jimenez is another lefty, so we'll let Victor Gonzalez face him. The pitch, a 48. That'll be a fly ball. Left field. Verdugo's there. I hit the wrong button. Verdugo's there under it. And that's the first out of the inning. F7. Indians lead it. They came back with a couple of runs in the bottom of the 7th. Next is Jose Ramirez, the pitch, and that is an 88, which will be an out of bouncer to second base. And Torres better hurry and just gets the speedy Ramirez. 2 outs and nobody on. And Naylor another lefty. Here's the pitch, and that's a 75, which will be a pop-up left side. Cabrera on the outfield grass. Waits for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for Victor Gonzalez. He did a great job. All right, Verdugo leads off here. We're going to go, it's the top of the 9th, so we're going to the closer. Who is the closer? That's a good question. Let's find that out. The closer is, there he is, Emmanuel Clase, is I think how you pronounce the name. Emmanuel Clase. Let's see if we can quickly find him. You get all the players here with this game. Clase. Oh, just found him. There he goes. And he's ready to close out the game. It's a right-hander. He will be facing Verdugo. And here's the pitch. And that is a 77, which will be a high fly right field. Under it is Brennan. 1 away. Oswaldo Cabrera. And that's a 65, which will be a defense. And a 48 on defense will be to the second baseman, who's a 4. And he'll make that diving play, gets back on his feet, over to first, and in time. Great play. Web gem by Jimenez at second base. And here comes Trevino. Now we could bring in a lefty to hit. Let's see. Let's pinch hit for Trevino here. With a left-hander, who do we got? We need somebody with some power. We could bring Giancarlo Stanton. He's got a ton of power. You know what? We're going to bring in Stanton to pinch hit. All right, here's a pitch from Clase to Stanton. And that's a 48, which will be a high fly center field. Backing up a couple steps is Freeman under it. And that's the ball game, folks. That is the ball game. So the Cleveland Indians come back with 2 runs in the 7th, and they beat the Yankees 2-1. It's 2-5-1 for the Indians, 1-4-0 for the Yankees. Great job by Clark Schmidt, but it was the bullpen that could not hold it. And final score is Cleveland 2, Yankees 1. Let's look quickly at the final information. Hold on 1 second as it sets up. Let's see. So that was good. That was a good game. So Beatty will get the victory. He went 1 inning and 4 outs basically. And Josh Naylor is the player of the game with 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. He'll get credit for that. Yankees are 7-7, and the Cleveland Indians are 11-2. Wow. Yeah, pretty good. So anyway, this is Tony Porter, and glad you watched and listened. I will talk to you guys very, very soon. And from Progressive Field in Cleveland 2024, I will talk to you guys very soon. Remember to like and subscribe. Take care now.